As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwokika Abiyama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiyama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, Nna nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
it's Young Flight on the beats.
The silver jacket body with Biafra gun, Umokoko, mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey, he dey make me oh gaga. He dey make me oh gaga. He dey make me oh gaga. This your G. He dey make me oh gaga. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to turn the black man through, yeah. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to turn the black man through, yeah. He dey make me oh gaga. Mama, he dey make me oh gaga. In this OG, he dey make me oh gaga. Sabotu has he dey make me oh for you. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. When we talk about our freedom, do not go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. Yeah, he dey pay me oh gaga. Mama, he dey pay me oh gaga. In this OG, he dey pay me oh gaga. Sabotu as he dey pay me oh gaga. Yeah. Biafra voice 247. Love you, we love you, everything we love, brother man, you know. We go crazy. Chiamaka, Ogaros, Rastaman of God. Love you. Yeah. Biafra, you know. Ikuku. Bad guy, you know. Water master. Love you. Akashi Haba go on. I get Chala, where's the memory? All them enemies of Biafra. Mad people everywhere. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go the face. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, go now go the face. Yeah, he dey pay me oh for you. he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Africans, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. This your G, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Ah, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Omo, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a black man. My God. So I'm on that maximum respect. Yeah. He dey pay me, oh, for you. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. Africans, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. This your G, he dey pay me, oh, gaga.
Makana wapana kamadu muna kujukwenanya lepa mnirirure oge si makasuna no oga think about your life because the entire story Ndigbo tu inusi agwawa ti matiano di eburisi ya na tieso jiri ebe go makwese makanu panu boko Opa tichiria, abona bosondo yamu, ona yeku chikona kana. Asi mabura kuno mare, ya buru miyaru, namogara pala namu, sorondi bozo. Opa do maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa Mubaram see. Na Biafra balamo, iya buna nene kambu paraya no. Baka no jife wata wenyaka ye, akalobe ilo leseya. Oye ufe upara nifeya, nka paruko. Biafra is my life. Biafra babalamo, I must go back to our land. And just the one who took us to say. Ogonyega bara mufero, ifa ukemere ya foyeteko. Gana chopi meyoso, ogo lodira kuri kahala. Mano yesina bugoba mnalibu, wesi no choro wa Nigeria. Ya biko solo ndia usala ugausa, kanyo wezoro waneba. Maka noburo lolu gausa, azegu govano is. Yoga kita kwandia usofuma.
Let us listen to that once again. That very beautiful one from our young brother.
Oga think about your life because the entire story. Ndigbo tu inusi agwawa ti matiano di eburisi ya na tieso jiri ebe go makwese makanu panu boko opa tichiria abona bosondo yamu ona yeku chikona kana asi mabura kuno mare ya buru miyaru namogara pala namu sorondi bozo Obado maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa Mubaram see. Na Biafra balamo, iya buna nene kambu paraya no. Baka no jife wata wenyaka ye, akalobe ilo leseya. Oye ufe upara nifeya, nka paruko. Biafra is my life. Biafra babalamo, I must go back to our land. And just the one who took us to say.
Again, wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. You are welcome to this very live presentation. Today's date is 7th of July 2024, and the time right now is exactly 13 minutes past 9 p.m. here in the land of Chukwokika, Biama. We are live and direct, and of course, the voice you are hearing right now is your one and only brother, Ordinanwa Biafra Unite. We are live and direct, of course, from the studio of the Biafra Unite channel / television. We have come to do the needful this very evening. And of course, I will not waste your time because we have only one topic to treat this very evening, but very, very important topic. And at the same time, I'm going to make it an interactive section so that every Biafran who would want to contribute to this very live broadcast this very evening will have the opportunity to do so. So, as time goes on, I'm going to open the line for our people to call in and, of course, make their contribution, or I will share the link to the studio. So please, I want you to stay tuned, pay very good attention, because this very evening topic is going to be very, very hot. And at the same time, I would like to welcome some of you that I have seen your comments in the comment section. We are live on 3 different platforms. We are live on 2 YouTube channels, which is Biafra Unite in capital letter, our main and oldest YouTube channel, and of course our new channel, which is Biafra Unite TV. Obani Clement, I can see you. Of course, I will start from beginning. Those who started making comments even before we went live. And then we are also live and direct on our only existing Facebook page at the moment, or should I say only working Facebook page at the moment, which is Biafra Unite Official. If you haven't followed there and you are on Facebook, I wonder what you are waiting for. Ero Consult, you are welcome. Johnny Kenna, you are welcome. Godwin Chukwemeka, I can see you. Chidubeme, man, you are welcome. Chijoke, Angela, you are welcome. All Sense Broadcast, you are welcome. Mary K, I can see you. Kate, I can see you. David, you are welcome. Eze, thank God, I can see. Asika George, you are welcome. Ngozi, you are welcome. Ota Pamela, you are welcome. Freedom is taking, you are welcome. Chuk says, I can see you. Ngodi Manuel, David John Frank, Dada Zaza, Vincent Ejehu, Stella Oloni, you are welcome. Stella, I can see you. Lole Goibo, you are welcome. Hilary, you are welcome. Livinus, I can see you. Gladys, you are welcome. I can see you. Jerry Wibo. Shady, you are welcome. Davidson, Omas, Chikwado, Sisi. Oh my goodness me, the names keep coming thick and fast. Chikwado Solomon, you are welcome. Sonny, I can see you. Clement Aneto, you are welcome. Femi, you are welcome. Livingston, you are welcome. Okonkwo Charles. Chang Mom, you are welcome. Abai James, you are welcome. Gerard Amade, Francis Keke, Chikwado, you are welcome. Abai James, Victor Augustine, Onyeka Aniachunam, you are welcome. Nicholas Cheta, you are welcome. Victor Augustine, I can see you. Ezobaji. Oh my goodness me, the names keep coming thick and fast. And of course, as usual, we have to continue because I will not be able to mention every one of you, but I will advise you to keep on commenting. Once your comment draws my attention, I will definitely bring it to the screen. So please do not stop liking, commenting, and of course, sharing this very broadcast. Now we have to continue immediately as we have gathered some very, very important topic to talk about this very evening. We are not just here to talk about those topics, but we are here to dissect them and of course put them to bed. So many things are going on right now. If you are not paying attention, you will not understand what is going on. Jackals and hyenas are gathering. The sun is gathering. The moon is gathering. The eclipse of the sun is expected. In this very quest for the freedom of the Biafran people, and if care is not taken, a lot of mistakes are going to be made. And I want to tell the entire Biafrans today, wherever you are listening to me from, that this is the time. What we are doing right now is the biggest, or should I say, what is going on right now is the biggest storm. Pay attention, this is very, very important. The biggest storm ever is happening right now in this Biafra quest. The biggest storm in the Biafra Liberation movement. And this very storm is exactly what is going to give birth to the Biafra sovereignty, to the independent state of Biafra. This very storm that is going on right now will give birth to the Republic of Biafra. And remember, we have three entities, or should I say, two people that make up three should I say three entity or four entity? We have two people under two entity that make up four groups. I think I got it right. We have two people under two entity that make up four groups. I'm going to explain. I will explain. Linus Nwafuru, you're welcome. Biafra Mass Exodus 2024. Of course, that is where we are. Ordinary, it is a forward ever. Of course, we are moving forward. No retreat, no surrender. Now, let me explain this to you, my people. We have to listen. Where I started from telling you that we now have what is happening right now, both in Biafra Liberation Movement and in Biafra land and the zoo at large, is the biggest storm in the history of Biafra liberation or agitation that is going to give birth to Biafra independence. And it's going to happen it's going to happen in this our time now, in this recent time now. It's going to happen in a jiffy. It's going to happen in a jiffy, but it will only happen in a hurry if we maintain only we maintain the momentum. Pay very good attention, my people. It's going to happen very, very soon. Remember where I'm coming from. Only if we maintain the momentum. But it's going to delay. If it's to come, if it's to happen, it will definitely happen. Biafra will come, whether we like it or not, whether anybody likes it or not. Biafra will come. It doesn't matter how they play the politics. Biafra will come. It doesn't matter how they delay it. Biafra will come. So, but I'm saying that the only thing out of this very big storm, happening now in Biafra movement, which is going to give birth to Biafra independence very, very soon. This very, very soon, it has, in fact, it comes into two different ways. The first one, it will give birth to Biafra independence as soon as possible, depending on how we manage and maintain the momentum, or else it will stop Biafra from coming right now. Not that it's going to stop Biafra from coming completely, but it's just going to stop Biafra from coming now. So it's going to delay Biafra. Instead of coming now, it will come later. Are you getting me? So now that is one part of it. Then the other part of it is that this very storm that is happening now is either brings Biafra now or delays Biafra to the next generation. Very, very important. What I'm explaining today, I haven't explained it before. Thank you so much, Cliff Ibe, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you. All right, we continue. Now, what I'm saying, please, if you want to give me super chat, if you can try to write something under it, I will appreciate, so I can read your comment. Very, very important. When I appreciate you, I would like to read your comment, even if it's to tell me well done. It is okay, so that I can be able, I like it when I appreciate you and I read your comment at the same time. It gives me joy. So we continue. Now, you see this very storm happening now. It comes in two different ways. If they succeed, they will push the Biafra restoration, the coming of Biafra, to the next generation. If it's to come, Biafra will come. Nobody can stop it because it is God's project. But if they fail, then it's going to bring Biafra now, as we have planned, as the government in exile has planned. Now, having told you this, let me begin the dissection of what I have said. Now, you see, the storm, the biggest storm, which is going on now, which is happening now in the Biafra agitation, is that the vultures are gathering. They want to change the ideology of what we are doing or what we are fighting for into a different thing. And they don't just want to change the ideology, but they will come with enormous pressure. I want you to listen, and listen very, very good. If you may, please write everything that I'm saying right now. Write it down. Write them on a sheet of paper, if you may. So, what am I trying to say? The vultures are gathering. The jackals, the hyenas, they are all gathering. The white dog, they are all gathering. The bull, the elephant, they are all gathering. And you know what? They are gathering for one purpose. If you haven't liked or shared the broadcast, please endeavor to do so. I want this very broadcast to go very, very viral. Extremely viral. I want it to go very, very viral. It's going to be very, very important. So those vultures, jackals, hyenas, and all of them gathering at the moment should listen and know that I'm a farmer and not wherever in a chefa. Now, these vultures and hyenas who are gathering, they are not just gathering, they are not just trying to change the ideology, but they are gathering with speed. They are gathering with their own ideas. They are gathering with enormous pressure. And this enormous pressure will be heaped on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Listen and listen very, very attentively, my people. This enormous pressure that they are coming with will be heaped on one man, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will get to us, all of us. I want you to pay attention. Through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which the whole pressure is heaping on, they will get to us. But, there is but there, very big but, B-U-T, capital B-U-T, but. When they get to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is 50-50. It's either Mazi Nnamdi Kanu succumbs to the pressure, because the pressure will be very, very huge. I'm going to explain the pressure to you. So it's either Mazi Nnamdi Kanu succumbs to the pressure or overcomes the pressure. I don't know if you are listening. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu succumbing to the pressure will not stop the coming of Biafra, but it's going to cause chaos worse than what we passed through in the hands of the DOS before we defeated them and gave them vote of no confidence. It will be chaos. The chaos will be intense. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu succumbs to the pressure, it's going to cause very big chaos in the freedom that we are pursuing. But if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu defeats the pressure, then it's not just going to give a boost to what we are doing, but it's going to alleviate a lot of minds to what we are doing. But it will also cause a lot of pain to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pay attention, please. Now, having explained, remember the last word, is going to cause a lot of pain to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember that. Now, let me start explaining this pressure. The pressure is this. After the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Biafra Republic government in exile that we have today, which started with autopilot, managed to keep the struggle, managed to hold the struggle up there. Now, we did not allow the struggle to fall. Meanwhile, by the time these whole things were happening, all these vultures, jackals, and hyenas were watching why their boys that they recruited paid humongous amount of money in order to destroy the struggle. Since they have gotten the leader, they sat back and watched all of us battle it out, media-wise, and of course on ground. They didn't say anything. They didn't do anything. They were just watching, believing that their boys that they recruited have the capacity to defeat us, the genuine ones. They forgot that the truth is only thing that stands the test of time. So, as we defeated them, their boys, gave them vote of no confidence, they now saw that their boys that they recruited and paid humongous amount of money have failed to do their bidding. Now they have come out en masse. They have come out en masse trying to thwart what we are doing, trying to destroy what we are doing with their own ideology. Now, let me begin the explanation. The pressure is this. Since they have seen that we have succeeded in holding up the struggle without letting it fall and die completely, which was the sole target of kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to destroy the agitation for Biafra, to stop the Biafra from coming, in order for them to keep on their criminal activities in Nigeria, for them to keep on impoverishing the poor masses, the majority of the Biafran people, so that they keep on making us, stealing our money, the public fund, robbing us, destroying our lives, sending youths to the early grave. This is what they wanted. Buying houses in Dubai, London, Europe, America, living large, while the poor keep suffering. This is what they wanted. But we have made it impossible for them to achieve this goal. Then they have come out right now. Now, they started in trying to get Mazi Simon Ekpa to succumb. It failed woefully because Mazi Simon Ekpa never given them any attention. You all heard Maxwell. You all heard what Maxwell said. Maxwell said that he traveled to Europe, went to Belgium to see the prime minister. No, he went to Germany. Then the prime minister told him, let us see in Belgium. He waited in Belgium. Finally, he couldn't see the prime minister. Rather, the prime minister told him, let us speak on phone. They spoke on phone. The prime minister told him that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said whatever he said, why AK-47 is on his head. Therefore, he cannot listen. So that very statement broke the camel's back. So now they tried everything they could. The prime minister did not give them any attention. They saw that side is no-go area, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was no-go area until they find a way to kidnap him. So they now try to kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa. No way. They tried with normal extradition. It didn't work because the Finland told them that he has never committed any offense known to law for us to hand him over to you. What he's fighting for is his right, his freedom, is his inalienable right to fight for his freedom. So therefore, he has never committed any offense. So they have seen that it is impossible to extradite the prime minister through legal means. They tried extraordinary rendition, it's not working. They tried sending kidnappers, it didn't work. They tried sending suicide bomber, it didn't work. Now they are tired. So what have they decided to do? They have decided to use this enormous pressure to pressurize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to drop the Biafra agitation. Now, this pressure is coming in this form. They gathered, these Southeast politicians and the Ohanaeze Ndigbo criminals gathered and decided what to do. They said, listen, I have gotten to that very climax. They said to themselves, since we cannot stop these young boys, these youths, these young boys from fighting the establishment, from fighting the system, since it is glaring that we cannot stop them from fighting the system, let us utilize this opportunity. Let us turn it into our own favor. Listen, my people. Like as I said before, what I'm explaining today, I've never explained it before. What they are saying now, what they have decided, said to themselves, is that since we can't stop them, let us turn the situation into our favor. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now in our own hand. He's with us here. Let us first of all leave the one that called himself Simon Ekpa, since we cannot reach him. Let us focus on Nnamdi Kanu that is with us. Let us, since he has suffered for 3 years, he has suffered for 3 years, he has smelled iron for 3 years, let us use this opportunity to turn the whole situation into our own favor. What are they looking for? Now, they want to use Nnamdi Kanu to hold the Zoo federal government to ransom. Pay very good attention, my people. I have not started playing the video because this explanation is very, very paramount. So they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to hold the federal government to ransom in order to give them what they want. So, in fact, the Southeast politicians and Ohanaeze criminals want to use the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They want to use one stone to buy two birds. Very important. Listen. Now, they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to normalize their own situation and write their name in the good book of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and then use the same opportunity to hold the federal government of the zoo to ransom. Because how are they going to use the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to normalize their own situation, to write their own names in the good books of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Somebody's asking if this is live. This is live. Today's date is 7th of July, 2024. Now, how do they want to achieve this? They want to achieve this by persuading Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept the political solution and drop Biafra agitation, get freed, and compensation that runs in millions of dollars. That runs in millions of dollars. Now, as if that is not enough, this one is from the Southeast politicians and Ohanaeze criminals. Get compensated with millions of dollars. Now, after convincing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get this, and it's not going to come by mere conviction, they are coming with threat. That's why I told you they are coming with enormous pressure. Pay attention. They are going to threaten Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Should you refuse our offer, we are going to tell the federal government of the zoo to put you in a very serious and severe condition that you cannot even afford to accept. The condition you are going to see yourself will be unacceptable to your own body and your flesh. And they are going to tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are going to abandon you. We will abandon you. They will tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that this is the only opportunity that you have to accept our offer and be free. If you fail to accept this offer, we will abandon you and you will suffer. And you are not going to see anybody, any so-called stakeholders. You know, whenever you hear critical stakeholders, they are talking about the criminals. They are thieves. You are not going to see for your release. Listen and listen very, very good, my people. I'm telling you the pressure, the threat that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive moving forward. And that threat has already started. As I'm talking to you right now, that threat has started. Anytime you hear anybody went to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is the threat. But they are starting again with the promises and trying to convince Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept their offer. So when the serious threat begins, I will let you know that the threat has started. I will come here and tell you that the main threat now has started. Right now, what they are doing now is using all kinds of mechanism to try and convince Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they believe that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, he's able to stop us and stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from fighting for Biafra again. Now, do you know what is going to happen? After the threat, during that threat, it is either Mazi Nnamdi Kanu accepts it or he leaves it. That's why I told you it is coming in two different ways. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu accepts it, then the chaos which I talked about, is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will now come out and start fighting us because we will never accept to drop Biafra. I want you to pay attention and follow. Even if I don't play a video that I wanted to play, I will be okay after this broadcast. Now, the chaos which is going to delay, pay very good attention, the chaos which is going to delay the Biafra from coming is that we are going to enter into another war again, which is different from the battle of liberation. Because there will be loyalists who will follow what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to say. When I say loyalists, I'm talking about men on ground, not even on media. I personally have sworn that I will never fight or antagonize or attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have sworn. That is for me. That is my personal opinion. But there will be loyalists. There will be loyalists who will fight against those who still want to be free, who don't want political solution. So it's going to do what? The chaos will cause delay to what we are doing. So that is only if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dances to their tone, which is not coming, which is not happening. Now, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu defeats the pressure of accepting their useless political solution, which means Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will still stand on Biafra or nothing, then they will tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are going to rot in jail. That is going to be their final word to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, after that, they will now go and tell the federal government, Tinubu and co., to suffer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the more. To suffer him the more. Now, the second stone which these politicians and Ohanaeze criminals want to use to buy the second bed, yes, the second bed that the politicians and Ohanaeze Ndigbo want to use to buy. Wants to use, how will I put it? The second bed that the politicians and Ohanaeze want to buy with the same stone. Yes, that is the right word. The second bed that they want to buy with the same stone is to use that same opportunity, because the federal government of the zoo as it stands right now is panicking. Let me make this clear. The federal government of the zoo is panicking over the Biafra issue. If you are not aware, I want you to know it today. I'm not talking about the Southeast politicians now. The federal government of the zoo, controlled by the Fulani, is panicking over the Biafra issue. In fact, it is the biggest headache to the federal government of the zoo. It is the biggest headache to the army of the zoo. It is the biggest headache to the police of the zoo. It is the biggest headache to every politician all across the zoological republic. Both local level, those operating in the local level, and those operating in the federal level. Biafra exodus, Biafra liberation is the biggest headache to the politicians in the zoo today. So now, And the Southeast politicians and Ohanaeze criminals are aware that the Biafra Liberation, Biafra exit, is the biggest headache to the federal government. So they now want to utilize the opportunity to antagonize the federal government, to hold the federal government to ransom. I want you to follow. Pay very good attention. This is very, very important. So they want to use this opportunity, which is the second bird that they want to buy with one stone. They want to use this opportunity to hold them to ransom so that the federal government of the zoo will be able to do their bidding. And P2B is being positioned. P2B has been positioned to play the biggest role. Listen and listen very, very attentively, my people. They all have positioned P2B to use him and play the biggest role. Now, what are these things the Igbo politicians and the Ohanaeze criminals want to achieve? As they have noticed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a menace, it's a very big headache to the zoo government, and Biafra exit is the biggest issue at the moment right now in the zoo. So they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to negotiate the Igbo political agenda in the Zoological Republic. So now, if they manage to convince Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will now be on the higher, they will have the upper hand. Listen, I know they are listening right now because now we have over 1,000 something listening. So one of them is here. Now, if they manage to negotiate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and succeed, which they have failed already before taking up the journey, that one I can tell them for free. Now they will be on the higher side. They will have the upper hand when negotiating with the federal government. What they want to negotiate with the federal government is this. Listen, we have managed to convince this man, Wamadia, this young man, to drop these Biafra matters on one condition. That the Igbo people are crying that their own issues are not being considered in the zoo. Are you willing to do this and that for us so that Biafra agitation will end? The federal government will ask them, what do you want? Because they know, the Igbo politicians are aware that the zoo called Nigeria is feeding from Biafra land. They know. So the Biafra people can decide to cut it off. Now they will tell the federal government, they will list all their demands to the federal government of the zoo. They are going to list all their demands, everything they want, which includes allocations, more ministerial positions, and above all, the biggest target is 2027 presidency of Mr. P2B. Now, that is that is now, in fact, this is what is on table. I know if they are listening to me now, they will be mad. They will be asking, who told this man our plan? They'll be asking themselves. It is no longer planned because it's already in the public. I'm telling the Ohanaeze criminals, I'm telling the Igbo politicians, it is no longer a secret because it is now in the public. They want to use one stone to buy two birds at the same time. Now, on our own side, we have sworn never in any way pay attention to anybody that says something contrary to the total freedom of the Biafran people. That is where Mazi Samenekpa stands. That is where Biafra Unite stands. That is where Biafra Government in Exile stands. That is where Biafra Liberation Army stands. That is where every genuine Biafran who have voted for Biafra referendum stand. Every genuine Biafran who has voted for Biafra referendum and those who are still going to vote during this second phase and third stage of the Biafra referendum, that is where we all stand. Total freedom, because we have gone beyond, we have crossed the Rubicon. So the problem they have now, the main problem that they have now, is how to convince Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept this their devilish offer. That is the biggest problem. They can manage to convince the Zoo government, they can manage to convince the Fulani government, fine. In as much as Fulani keep on making the oil, in as much as they still maintain their oil wells in Biafra land, they can easily manipulate them, they can easily do whatever, negotiate whatever. It doesn't change anything. Tinubu himself will agree. But the main problem is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the only thing, let me say this today, the only thing that the Zoo government wants to hear before they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will end the Biafra agitation. That is the only thing. The Zoo is not even ready to listen. All this security thing they're talking about, the Zoo is not, the Zoo doesn't care about that. Sit at home you are talking about is not the main thing that the Zoo wants to hear now. The main thing the Zoo wants to hear is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has accepted to drop the Biafra agitation. And now, the problem there is this. The Southeast politicians and the Ohanaeze criminals cannot manage to offer that to the federal government of the Zoo. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from beginning, when I explained to you the evil in the pot of political solution, that was in 2021. When I told you, I got an information, intel, authentic one, the true meaning, the 4 agendas of political solution, I told you it is dead and buried. So, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still stand there till tomorrow. So there's a problem. There is a very big problem. Now, let us start with this video and dissecting this, their statement and whatever, rubbish they want to, bring out there to confuse the gullible. Now, let's watch and listen to them. Please, I want you to use this opportunity to share this very broadcast. I need more people here. I need more people here. I want this very broadcast to go as far as possible. If you haven't liked or shared the broadcast, I don't know what you are waiting for. Those of you watching on YouTube, please share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. If you're watching from Facebook, please share on Facebook, share it everywhere, because I want more people to join this very live presentation. Very, very, very important. Now let's move.
Chief, what sort of political agreement do you think could be reached, with the federal government, between Kanu and the federal government, to secure his release?
Yeah, the political agreement we are looking at is where the federal government will understand that Nnamdi Kanu is like, they're looking at Nnamdi Kanu represents what is happening in the southeast of Nigeria. It represents the agitation by the whole youth of the southeast. It represents the level of unemployment. It represents the marginalization of the people of the Igbo. It represents how people are aggrieved about what is happening in Nigeria, how the Igbos are treated. So when we're talking about political solution now, it's how to bring to an end some of this all this injustice that are meted to the people. We're talking about political solution. We're talking about how there will be equity in Nigeria. How the people always get their turn in all circumstances that are affecting Nigeria. How Nigeria will remember the Igbos who are the founding, eminent Igbo, who are the founding fathers of this country. And ever since then, we have been part of building the country. Everywhere you find us, they are trying to develop for the growth of this country. It is the kind of political solution we are looking at. When Nigeria will understand, or people will understand that Igbos are so sidelined by their lives, maltreated, and suffer all forms of injustice and exclusion from the federal government. So that's the political solution. So when they understand it and begin to assuage people and begin to correct some of these things in the past, and they will calm the nerves, and some of these agitations will reduce. So that's what we are looking at when we talk about political solution.
Now, first and foremost, I want you to understand that the person who is speaking is called Alex Ogbonnia. Alex Ogbonnia is the National Secretary of Publicity Secretary of Ohanaeze Criminals. Alex Ogbonnia is the National Secretary, Publicity Secretary of Ohanaeze Criminals. He is the one talking. So, meaning that he is speaking on behalf of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. He's not speaking as a person. I don't know if he's the one that alleged sometime in the past, couple of weeks ago, that they want to kidnap him. I don't know. Somebody alleged. Can you let me know in the comment section if you have an idea, if you have any idea of what I'm talking about? Somebody alleged sometime in the past, couple of weeks ago, that some people are threatening to kidnap him. Some people. I don't know if it's this man or someone else. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna, for sharing on X. God bless you. Now, this man called Alex Ogbonnia, the National Publicity Secretary of Ohanaeze Criminals, speaking on behalf of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, said that the political solution that they are looking for, let me play that again.
The agreement we are looking at is where the federal government will understand that Nnamdi Kanu is like, they're looking at Nnamdi Kanu represents what is happening in the southeast of Nigeria. It represents the agitation by the whole youth of the southeast. It represents the level of unemployment. It represents the marginalization of the people of the Igbo. It represents how people are aggrieved about what is happening in Nigeria, how the Igbos are treated.
Now, before this man continues, I want to send a message to every Ohanaeze criminal and Igbo evil politicians that look, the Biafra agitation, Biafra Liberation has absolutely nothing to do with this your so-called marginalization anymore. It has nothing to do with marginalization. I want to say this because if I will say, if I want to be truthful to myself, if I really want to be truthful to myself, there is no any part of the zoological republic as it stands today that the people, I'm not talking about the development, I'm talking about the people. There is no part of the zoo today that people are not being marginalized. I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about development, because if you are talking about development, there is no development in the zoo. Apart from Lagos State and Abuja. Tell me again, what development are we talking about? All these nonsense towns. You want to talk about cities? Do we have cities in the zoo? Apart from even Lagos itself, Soro the Nifa na Ekumakia. Lagos is Soro Nifa na Ekumakia. When you talk about cities, it is only those who have not seen things. When you travel from village to Lagos, in Amanienu, hey, I have seen cities. If you flyover, if you Third Mainland Bridge, in Amanienu, hey, city, flyover. No. Please, when you stop hearing my voice, let me know in the comment section. Do not hesitate to let me know so that I can refresh my system. If my voice stop coming out, please let me know in the comment section so that I can be able to refresh my system. So, when we talk about marginalization, can you hear my voice, please? Is my voice coming out, please? If my voice is coming out, let me know. Let me know in the comment section, please. If my voice is coming out, please let me know in the comment section. Very, very important. So, now, when we talk about marginalization, apart from development that we see in Lagos State, the development we see in Abuja, tell me which other place that you can tell me now that the federal government is this and that. Everybody is feeling the marginalization. The Yorubas are feeling the marginalization. The Hausas are feeling the marginalization. The other small ethnic groups in the northern part of the zoo are feeling marginalization. The Igbo people are feeling the marginalization. Everybody is feeling marginalized in the damnable zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. And who are the people marginalizing us? The politicians. The politicians are marginalizing us. Because if the governors who collect the what do you call it, the monthly allocation from Abuja are using that same allocation to bring development in their various states, no state will be talking about marginalization. No ethnic group will be talking about marginalization. So for the fact that they collect this allocation and share it within themselves, that means everybody is marginalized. As long as you are not a government official, you are not among the politicians who share this cake, you are being marginalized. It is normal. It is very, very normal. So we are not fighting because of marginalization. If it's for marginalization, then everybody will be fighting at the same time. We are fighting for self-preservation. We are fighting against extermination. We are fighting to live. We are fighting against the Fulani incursion of our land. The invasion of Fulani into our land. The invasion of our land, the desecration of our holy land is what we are fighting against. Not for marginalization. So let's continue.
So when you're talking about political solution now, it's how to bring to an end some of this all this injustice that are meted to the people. We're talking about political solution. We're talking about how there will be equity in Nigeria. How the people always get their turn, in all circumstances that are affected.
Did you hear that? Did you get that? Pay attention. Pay attention.
How the people always get their turn, in all circumstances that are affecting Nigeria.
Did you hear that? How the Igbos will get their turn in every circumstances affecting the Zoological Republic. How the Igbos will get their turn. I have another video that I'm going to play because I will send a message. I will send a very important message to Nigerians. Those that believe that they are Nigerians, I will send a message to them. So this man said, Ohanaeze Ndigbo and other politicians said, they want to negotiate. If you did not understand it, let me explain it to you. The Ohanaeze criminals and Igbo political, jobbers said that they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to negotiate how the Igbo people will get their turn of presidency, how the Igbo people will get their share in terms of slots in the government, in terms of ministerial job, in terms of appointment, being involved in the cabinet. When during Buhari, I don't know about now. During Buhari, they used to have a security meeting, national security meeting. Igbo man will be there. That thing happened throughout 8 years of Buhari regime. So this man want Igbo, not this man, Ohanaeze Ndigbo and Igbo governor, Igbo politicians want Igbos to be slaughtered, to be included in the government of the zoo. And the only person, the only opportunity that they want to use to get these things done is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In other words, they have politicized the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, let's continue because a lot of things are coming out.
Always get their turn, they said there will be equity in Nigeria. How they will always get their turn, they said in all circumstances that are affecting Nigeria. How Nigeria will remember that Igbos are the founding, eminent Igbo were the founding fathers of this country. And ever since then, we have been part of building the country. Everywhere you find us, they are trying to develop for the growth of this country. It is the kind of political solution we are looking at. When Nigeria will understand, or people will understand that Igbos are so sidelined by their lives, maltreated, and suffer all forms of injustice and exclusion.
Did you hear that?
From the federal government.
Did you hear that?
And they sidelined by their lives, maltreated. It is the kind of political solution we are looking at. When Nigeria will understand, or people will understand that Igbos are so sidelined by their lives, maltreated.
They want to use the negotiation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to let the Igbos know, to let the federal government know that the Igbos have been sidelined. That is the negotiation they are talking about. And this negotiation now, because there's another video I'm going to play, which everything will be properly explained. Now, this negotiation, I told you from beginning that it comes into two different ways. The one for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes in two ways, and the one for federal government comes in one way. And that very one way carries a lot of branches, which includes Igbo inclusion in the federal government scheme, Igbo presidency, Igbo ministerial positions, and all that. Now, that is the part of the federal government, and the only hope to achieve this is through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to listen.
Suffer all forms of injustice and exclusion
from
the federal government.
And the exclusion from the federal government. These are the things they want to use this opportunity to stop. And I want to tell Ohanaeze criminals and the Igbo political jobbers that, look, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not start the agitation for Biafra for the Igbo politicians. Listen, my people. I want to use this opportunity to let them understand that we are not fighting for Biafra for the Igbo political jobbers and Ohanaeze criminals, for them to come in and start negotiating on behalf of the agitators, on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, on behalf of Biafra government in exile, on behalf of Simon Ekpa, on behalf of Biafrans at large. We did not start this movement for them to come in now only fan the Imo State in akpo ato ke fasi ekwu ato etempara. Can somebody help me in the comment? If you are from Imo State, please help me. There's a way they say it, ato etempara. For them now to come, Abiawo Salona, Nodusia Noche, everybody, then Abiabido negotiation. We did not die for you to negotiate for your political interest. Never. The Biafran youths were not massacred only for Ohanaeze criminals and P2B to become president. The earlier these fools understand this, the better for all of them. That the Biafra people did not, lose their youths, including those that were starved between 1967 to 1970, only for P2B to become the president of the zoo. Never. The earlier these fools understand this, the better for all of them. That Biafrans were not massacred in Obi-Igbo for P2B to become president, or for any Igbo man to become the president, or for you to be appointed into the president of Tinubu, into the presidency of Tinubu. That Igbos were not massacred at Mpo, that those our brothers dumped in a Zoo River, is never for Igbo man to be recognized as an important person under the Zoological Republic. Those that were massacred in Emene, those that were murdered in Afaruku Ibeku, those that were murdered and sent to judgment in Aba High School, those that were sent to judgment at Onitsha Head Bridge, these people did not die for Igbo man to become the president of the Zoological Republic. The earlier these cowards understand this, the better for all of them. Now, let's continue.
So, as a political solution, so when you understand it and begin to assuage people and begin to correct some of this in the past, and they will calm the nerves, and some of these agitations will reduce.
Like, seriously? Agwagi Ikwe? Oko, so Agwagi Ikwe, are you sure this man on Omu yonege kwenti ifo neku? All these Igbo politicians, do they really have children? Iwanya nwokwalu nwa yonege kwenti n'ifo neku? Onwekwalu nwunye ona anukwu ifo neku? How do you believe that if they give you political appointment, then we'll now end our dream of becoming a free people? Like, I don't know, like, seriously? Are you kidding me? Hey,
so that's what we are looking at when we talk about political solution.
All right.
Has he now told you what they are looking at, what they are looking for when they talk about political solution, right? Now, let me show you another. This one, he mentioned what they want from the federal government, right? He mentioned what they want from the federal government. He has not told you about what they are looking for from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What he just said is what they want from the federal government. Now you may be asking, so what do they want from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Now let me play another video for you. Another video. After this one, then I will play the next video, which I'm going to use to send, message to the zoo youths, to the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom youths. Now, let us listen to this one. The same man.
And putting all the stats on there. Let's give a bit of, let's look at this, take it back. The historical grievances that the Southeast have faced, perceived marginalization that the Southeast has faced. Dr. Ogbonnaya, do you think that Kanu's release could significantly reduce tensions and lead to meaningful dialogue. Again, emphasis on meaningful dialogue between the government and the IPOB. My question is why? And if no, why not?
Okay, yeah, I can see 3 questions. One, in the first place, it will reduce insecurity because there are some people, some good lords who have cashed in on that, the fact that Nnamdi is in detention. And because of that, you see them trying to enforce it at home every Monday. So I am sure that when Nnamdi will be released, the issue of it at home on Mondays will stop because there will not be any reason anymore for them to enforce it at home on Mondays in the Southeast. So that is number one. So number two, when you come to dialogue, people always look at, when you look at Nnamdi Kanu, they are looking at the effects. They are looking at outcome. They are not looking at the cause. It's a cause and effect phenomenon. People tend to disregard why Nnamdi Kanu, why the issue of IPOB, that is what has brought up IPOB in the first place. So negotiation will also look at the cause. Because people are now focused on the effect. The effect is agitation. What is it that causes agitation? This is the issue that when we say political solution. So evidently Nnamdi Kanu will not be alone in the negotiation. Some elders of Igbo elders or Ohanaeze will also be part of negotiation.
Let us take time and laugh at this foolish man. Let's take time and laugh at this man. Let's mock him. some elders, some Igbo elders, or Ohanaeze Ndigbo will be among the negotiators. Yeah. So finally, this is where we have landed. So this is where we have finally landed. After all the suffering, after all the massacre. So this is where we have finally landed. Ndị anyị enye ọsọ, ndị ya nọ nga till fa nwụrụ. Many of these people will be in jail. Many of these criminals will be in jail forever until they join their ancestors. Now then they come out today, they tell you, say, then go sit down for table, they negotiate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Zoo Fulani federal government. Many of these idiots that will serve forever jail time till they meet their ancestors. So now all this fight we've been fighting and, dying for our freedom, and then we have been doing this for Ohanaeze. If we want and this useless man called Alex Obonia, publicity secretary of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide, then we will now come sit down to negotiate. So, let's listen to him. Let's listen to him. Let us just manage.
Some elders of Igbo elders or Ohanaeze, they will not see the issues that when we say political solution. So evidently Nnamdi Kanu will not be alone in the negotiation. Some elders of Igbo elders or Ohanaeze will also be part of negotiation. I don't want to believe Nnamdi Kanu and Tinubu alone will sit in the negotiation. I want to believe that a few Igbo elites, a few elite of the government side will stay on the table to negotiate. At that point, some of this will be thrown open. And the truth, there's facts are sacred. Truth is always open and clear to everybody to understand. Some of these things are very statistical. Things you can always see yourself. The empirical evidence to show what is happening in the Southeast. And if you're going to ameliorate them and the evidence.
Now, hold on first before you continue, Ogai Chelosia. Now, this Ohanaeze Ndigbo wants to come and negotiate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for his release with the federal government of the Zoo on behalf of Igbo's inclusion into the Nigeria scheme of things. I want you to listen, my people. These Ohanaeze criminals will sit on a round table with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Tinubu's federal government controlled by Fulani to negotiate on the inclusion of the Igbos in the federal government apparatus, to negotiate the coming of Igbo presidency, to negotiate the Igbo man becoming the chief of army staff once again, to negotiate how Tinubu will appoint more Igbos into his cabinet on behalf of the on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and through the suffering of the Biafran people. Are you paying attention? Through the buying and sending to judgment, sending to early grave of the Biafran youths, these people will now sit down. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used himself as a sacrifice only for an Igbo man to become the president of the Zoological Republic. So this is what we have been fighting for this while. Hey, brain anorodia. You people lack brain. You people lack brain. They used to say, "Ifo Kenya no nani wefu na nwata kiri ya ni alienu oji yet omanfuya." But we change go, the table has turned. If I know zinabo, if nwata kili no nani wefu, no can you see all these political elders that we have in Igbo land today? Ya alienu oji yet omanfuya. The table has turned. It is now open.
For guarantee assurance that it will not continue to be like this. Like I said earlier,
now, listen.
Up in the southeast. Always see yourself. The empirical evidence to show what is happening in the southeast. And if you're going to ameliorate them and the evidence for guarantee assurance that it will not continue to be like this. Like I said earlier, people Nnamdi Kanu is released today, and then Nnamdi Kanu will rise tomorrow if the station continues. Thank you.
Did you hear that? Did you get that? He said, this man said that if that the federal government of the zoo gives them assurance that the marginalization will end, and they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the federal government of the zoo failed to keep their words, failed to keep the agreement, then another Nnamdi Kanu will arise again. So, in other words, these people are pretending not to see the presence of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, i.e. Mazi Samanekpa. They are just pretending not to see the presence of Mazi Samanekpa. Right? Because they solely and strongly believe that if they could get hold of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to dance to their tune, then through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will get to Samanekpa, they will get to all of us. That is their belief. Because they are wallowing in periphery. These people are living in the past. They do not understand. These people do not understand anything. They don't know how far we have gone. They do not understand that American government, American Justice, Department of Justice has, recognized the Biafra Republic government in exile as an entity. They do not understand. These people are living in the past. They are actually, to be honest, they are actually living in the past. They don't understand anything. They are very, very far. I don't now. You see what he said, that if they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government failed to keep the agreement, another Nnamdi Kanu will rise up. So that means what the prime minister is doing at the moment, they are not seeing it because they believe that he is still under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they fail to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was also under Wazurike. You see the way they play blind eyes to the reality. You see the way they play deaf ears to reality, staring at everybody. They have failed to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was Uwazurike's boy. You know, that Uwazurike actually came to London to establish Radio Biafra. They have failed to understand all these things. These are facts. This Radio Biafra you see today, that Uwazurike himself went to London, met with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Ojukwu to his blessed memory, and set up Radio Biafra. Though Uwazurike did not fund it. Radio Biafra, the one that was set up by Uwazurike, died, completely died. And then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it up from there, paid the dues, and re-established the Radio Biafra, the one we had before his kidnap. And then the criminals hijacked it. So they have failed to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was under Uwazurike. And after Uwazurike failed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu led a march, led a 1 million man march to Chatham House, or whatever they call it, to Downing Street, protesting against Boko Haram and against Nigerian state terrorism against the indigenous people in the Zoological Republic. These idiots, these political elders in our land have failed to put all these things into consideration, because they believe that if they can hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and get him to agree with their useless political solution, then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be able to hold all of us, hold Mazi Samanepa, hold all of us, and nobody will agitate again, because now the federal government has agreed to appoint more Igbos into the government of the zoo, and then they will allow P2B to become president in 2027. That is how they reason. They actually think like children. Even children are even more reasonable than these fools. Okay, Bazwa. Children have become more reasonable than these fools that call themselves elders. I wonder how they reason. Thank God we still have reasonable elders in Biafra land. Once Biafra comes, all our reasonable elders will be alleviated, will be brought into limelight in order to teach our kids how to live and to teach our children a better way of upbringing. All these political elders, all of them, many of them will be sent to exile, while many of them will be sent to jail forever till they meet their ancestors. I'm telling you, all these people, elders, Nanibo, TV, who have stole us dry, all of them, many of them that will be able to run, to escape from Abuja, will remain there forever. Other ones who we are going to lay our hands on them will rot in jail forever till they meet their ancestors. I've said it, and I will lead their apprehension. I will lead it. I'm going to lead the apprehension of all the political elders that we have in Biafra land today. I will lead their apprehension. We are not going to fold our arms and watch them perpetrate all this evil and go scot-free. Never. Because they are elders. We can never allow that to happen. Never. Now, I will play one more video. After that, I will then open the line and, of course, allow our people to call in and make their own contribution. These people have done more than harm. Imagine the way they reason. If they fail to keep the promises, then another Nnamdi Kanu will rise up. Did you send Nnamdi Kanu for the first time? I'm asking these political elders and Ohanaeze criminals, did you send Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the first place? The answer is no. You did not send him. You never sent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Rather, you fought against him. You fought him so hard. Now, let us watch this video so that I can be able to send a message to the Zoo youths. There's a very important message that I want to send to the Zoo youths. After that, I will then open the line for our people to call in and, of course, make their own contributions. This very video that I'm about to play right now is strictly for the Zoo youths. I have a message for them, all of them, every Zoo youth. I want them to gather here. Every Zoo youth should gather here. I have a message for all of them. Now, let's listen to him.
About this bad government, we go start next month, August. Make I just talk one thing about them. I dey hear something, I dey hear say this protest, as in this protest, you know, say no man, we dey protest. Say, may they make a peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Now, waiting, people, they only talk about that. Peaceful protest. But again, waiting me, I want clear all of now. Waiting me, I want clear people for you. Una know, say, we don't dey protest. You don't take. You don't take where we don't dey protest. But yet, nothing change. We don't see any positive things. Nothing change. We just dey protest. Nothing change. Nigeria still remain the same way. As in, it not even remain the same way. Say, even getting worse.
Did you hear him? He said, they don't they protest. Many years ago, even Fela protested. Fela Kuti protested. And to make the matter worse, the people that followed Fela Kuti are today still singing solidarity forever. The same solidarity they sang during Fela Kuti. They are still singing it today. Now, let's continue because I have a message for them.
Getting bad herself. So what me I say about protest now be say, if I say all of us feel unite, feel cooperate, wallahi more turn out to war.
Orlando go now, but okay follow. But let me address him. And as I'm addressing him, I'm addressing every youth of the damnable zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. I'm not just addressing this boy because I don't know him. I'm just seeing him for the first time in my life. So, and I don't know him in person. So, anybody who called himself or herself as a Nigerian, this message is for you. If you are planning for protest, as stated by this young man on my screen, if you are in any way planning protest, because the Kenya protest, you're going to protest, I want to tell you, because there's a word he said, if we can unite, this young man said, if we can unite, I want to use this opportunity to send a strong message to every Biafran. Before sending the message to the Zoo youths, let me first of all send a message to the Biafran youths that every Biafran today, irrespective of where you domicile, irrespective of where you are, whether you live in Lagos or you live in Abuja or wherever you live, Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, anywhere you reside in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, protest is not for you. You are not allowed under the government of Biafra to carry out or to join the zoo youths to protest against bad government of the zoo or to protest for the betterment of the zoo, because any protest against the government is for the betterment of that country. I want you to pay attention. If you protest, there are many reasons. Let me explain this right now before we continue. There are many reasons. There are 1 million reasons that a Biafran man must not, I say must, capital M-U-S-T, must not join this so-called or this imminent protest in the Zoological Republic. I don't know if it's really imminent or not, but this so-called end bad government protest, no Biafran youth is permitted to join that protest because, number one, our target in the zoo as it stands today is to exit the Zoological Republic. That is number one target, our target. That is number one reason a Biafran must not join any type of protest in the zoo, because we are targeting to exit the zoo. Now, some of you may say, before we exit, now let us first of all enjoy good governance after we protest, and let us first of all enjoy good governance before then Biafra will exit. No. If you protest against bad government of the zoo and suddenly, earn good governance or good government out of your protest, then Biafra question will be questioned. I want you to pay attention. Biafra question will be questioned, because how does Biafra question be questioned? It is very simple. You don't fight for freedom when you are enjoying yourself. That is the reason why all these Igbo politicians you see today, none of them support Biafra. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, they are just second type of politicians we have in Igbo land. They don't support Biafra. Because of what? They are enjoying out of the criminality of Nigeria. So they're enjoying. So for us to continue to fight for freedom when you have good government under the zoo will be questioned. A lot of people will give up. And then you are not giving up of Biafra, but you are giving up on every African child as it stands today. Every African child. Because the liberation of Biafra will spell doom to the neo-colonialism or colonial structures in entire Africa. So you will be jeopardizing billion. I don't know if Africa is up to billion, but you will be jeopardizing the lives of millions of Africans. Because if you get good governance in the zoo, you have not gotten good governance in Cameroon. Yes, which I know you can never have any good governance in the zoo. I'm just telling you. For those who may say, let's protest and enjoy good government before Biafra comes. No, you can't fight for your freedom when everything is normal. You fight for freedom when you see that you are already dead. So even if you die on top of it, you don't care, because you're not existing. You are living, but you are not you are existing, but you are not living. You are existing, but you are not living. That is when you fight for your freedom. I don't know if I'm making sense. So you fight for your freedom when you live, when you exist, but you see yourself as somebody who is not living. Under that circumstances, you can be able to fight for your freedom. So we must not join hands to make the zoo better. Like as I said before, our fight has gone beyond marginalization. It has gone beyond bad government. Our fight has gone far. We are fighting for self-preservation. Yes. We are fighting to survive. We are fighting to, to stop Boko Haram. We are fighting to stop Al-Qaeda. We are fighting to stop ISIS in West Africa, ISWAP. We are fighting to stop all these terrorists from operating, not just from their incursion into Biafra land, but from operating in West Africa, because we are going to stop it. So we are fighting to live. Now, at the end of it, you cannot in any way protest, whether it is revolution or what. You can't savage the zoological republic. It is not possible. You can never, no matter what you do, you can never savage the zoological republic. You can't. You can't, my people, you can't. You can never do that. Okay? So that is another reason why Biafrans must not join the protest. And another reason is this. Biafrans cannot join to make the zoo better when we are fighting to exit the zoo, and then you are being targeted. You are being targeted. You all saw what happened during the NSAS. Tinubu brought ethnic game. They say, hey, Igbos are trying to destroy Yoruba land. Igbos are coming to destroy Lagos. Igbos want to destroy the properties of Yoruba people. They destroy the NSAS protests, give them the military shot at them at sight at Lekki Toll Gate and other places in the zoo that protests took place. They used Nyesom Wike to massacre innocent Biafrans in Obibo. Protests ended. They said Igbos want to destroy Lagos. That was the word. They were singing it like chorus on TVC and Channels Television, that Igbos want to destroy Yoruba land. Then Yoruba people now left the protest and started fighting Igbos. When protest was still going on, when they were even marching to trying to turn it into revolution. The stupid people that bought that brainwash, that allowed that brainwash to get into them, started fighting Igbos, and they left the protest. That is how the government of Buhari, managed to use Tinubu to destroy the NSAS protest. So you'll be targeted. Igbos will be targeted. Definitely. And all of you are doing business. You have shops, you have businesses all over the zoo. You will be targeted. Your business will be targeted. Your persons will be targeted. Everything about you will be targeted. And you will be dealt seriously. You will be dealt mercilessly over it. So Igbos or Biafrans at large are not in any way permitted by the nature, not only by the Biafran government, by the nature. Biafrans are not permitted by the nature to join this so-called protest in the Zoological Republic. Now he said, if they are in unity, unity with who? He talked about if they are unified with who? You can be unified between the North and the West, but leave Biafra land out of your useless unity. I am not against this young boy. I'm not against him. I am not against him. But anybody talking about protest in the zoo and you are counting Biafrans among your gathering, count us out. We are not involved. We can never be involved. Our target is Biafra. Now let's continue because I want to send message to the zoo youths.
I say all of us feel unite fit cooperate, wallahi more turn out to war. More turn out to war, more enter so hot. All this house of assembly, all these their places where all of them they go hide themselves. Maybe say soldiers say, men soldiers say join us, police join us, all these Air Force, Navy, men everybody join us. If I say that cooperation go there, I swear the eye go correct. Now because they get back up now. They get back up now. If I say that their backup no day, all these our leaders. If I say they don't get back up, they don't go. This thing for now they continue like this. If I say all these soldiers where they guide them, all this mopu, all these bouncer where they carry people. So I say all of them say join hands with civilians, with all of everybody join hands together. We can't face them. What you call remain again? They go change. They go even beg for their lives. They go even beg. This hardship like this go stop. Wallahi. Now me they talk up. May everybody unite, both soldier, both police. All of us unite. No more peaceful protests again now. Because peaceful protests know they work. Yes. Peaceful protests, you know they work. More turn out to one no man, more enter so scatter everywhere. More shook, waiting no good. More no just kill, but more shook. If you don't carry knife, dagger, shook one senator for like this, yeah, go correct. Now they collect 500 million naira. For waiting. For waiting. Exactly. For what exactly? Nigeria stay there with the suffer. Only the wire house. Again, now wait to go up with that. No more peaceful protests. We don't need that. We don't need peaceful protests. We don't need peace because we don't even get the peace. We don't get peace. So I want to do that peaceful protest. Where the peace there? Tinubu give us peace. So we want to protest now. We can't do peaceful protest. Like.
Now it is time to send message to the Zoo youths. Those of you listening right now, you can see the link in the comment section. I have posted a link in the comment section, and of course, also pinned it on top of the chat section. As you are watching, you are reading the comments. The link is on top of the chat section. So if you want to make your contribution, kindly click the link and join me live and direct in this studio. Very, very important for those of you who would want to make contribution. I told you we only have one topic this very evening, which we have treated how they want to politicize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and use our long suffering for their own political and personal interests, which we have said never. And then let me send very important message to the Zoo youths. The Zoo youths. You see how serious this one is talking. You see how serious he is. If you look at his eyes, you go see say afun onye nke segidego Igbo. Onye nke segidego Igbo ikagwe ya. Because of frustration. I don't know if he smokes, but his eyes proves otherwise. So I don't know if it's because of frustration. I don't know. Onye nke ejigo Igbo sewasi anya. So he is fed up. He doesn't care again. If I get me today. So anybody talking about protest in the zoo today does not really understand what is going on. That there is no any country that is created to succeed in Africa. I don't know if we are operating in a different level that every other person, not every other person, that other people, other youths, other people in Africa do not understand. I don't know, were we created differently? Were Biafrans created differently? There are lots of reasons to fight for freedom. Many reasons. Are we talking about the proposed Islamization of Biafra land? Or are we talking about the incursion of the Fulani? Are we talking about the terrorism of the Nigerian state? Or are we talking about the colonialism of the British and Europe as a whole? So which one are we talking about? Are we talking about exploitation? So there are 1 million reasons to fight for freedom. Now, anybody talking about protesting and having good government in the zoo, you are wasting your time. Look, Kenyans have protested. Kenyans have protested. I don't know if the protest is still going on till today. I'm not sure. Now, has William Ruto left the office of the president? The answer is no. Has the members of the parliament been impeached? The answer is no. Has the system changed? The answer is no. Let me tell you, it is only in Europe or America or any other country that understand the meaning of true democracy that protest can work. It is only in a civilized world, it is only in a nation, in a country, not just country, in a nation, only in a nation that protest can work. Protest can never work in contraption like the Zoological Republic or other countries that we have in Africa. Protest cannot change anything. Protest cannot change anything because these politicians working hand in hand with the with the British people will find a way to destroy the protest. Definitely. They will find a way to destroy the protest. Before you know it, they will bring tribal games. They will find a way. They will shoot at sight. Because of what? They are not the same people. Tinubu can order shoot at sight. Because of what? He knows that he's going to shoot Nigerians, not Yorubas. Even though there are Yoruba people who are going to be involved in that very shooting, who will, feel the heat, who will receive the bullets, yet he's not doing it for Yorubas. He's doing it because Nigerians are protesting, and Nigerians are not his own people. Nigerians are not his blood. Nigeria as an entity is just a contraption, it's a concussion. It's not a nation, it's a concussion. But if Tinubu is a president of the Yoruba nation, if Tinubu is the president of Oduduwa nation, Tinubu can never in any way order the military to shoot at sight at any given protest. Because of what? He knows very well he will be buying his own people, his own blood. Are you paying attention? Even this P2B, as evil as he is, becomes the president of, God forbid, I don't want to use P2B to give this illustration for Biafra. God forbid, Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire, God forbid. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu becomes the president of Biafra, I want to tell you, there is no any amount of protest, even if it turns to revolution, that the president will give instruction to the military to shoot at sight his own people, his flesh and blood. It is impossible. If Mazi Simon Ekpa becomes the president, I don't know if we are going to be practicing president or prime minister, becomes the leader of Biafra nation, whether president or prime minister, we will see to that. He will never give instruction, give orders to the military to shoot at sight against his own people. It is not possible. Because of what? He knows that he is dealing with his own flesh and blood, his own people. But if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu becomes the president of Nigeria, If P2B, no, God forbid, I can't use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for this example. If P2B becomes the president of Nigeria, he will shoot at sight. The same way he shot at sight in Anambra State. He shot at sight in Anambra State, knowing fully well that he's shooting his own people, but he is shooting his people under Nigeria. That is something you must understand. He's shooting his own people under Nigeria, not under one nation, but under contraption. So protest or no protest, the only thing everybody should be discussing right now in the zoo is total disintegration. Anything other than that, you are wasting your time. All right, rage and
Okay, my brother, am I coming out? Am I coming out, sir?
I think he's having issue with his computer, but we can hear you.
Hello, sir. Can I speak on now?
I think he's having issue. You can speak. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, greetings to you all, great Biafrans all over the world. Isoko Wado, Urobo Wado, Igbo Wado, Calabar Wado, Igodomigodo Wado, Biafra Mano Wado, Wado. Yay! Thank you very much, brother, for the great work that you are doing. It's an honor to be with your family. And again this evening. And I want to say a very big thank you to you for the great work you are doing for us, Biafra Unite. First of all, let me send a special greeting to my Prime Minister, the People's Prime Minister, His Excellency, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, for the Biafra people. Thank you, sir, for the great work you have done for us, for how close you have brought us. We will continue to bless you and protect you for us in Jesus' name. And to the People's Army, the Biafra Liberation Army, you are the delight of the people. You are the delight of the Biafran people. These people have killed us for a very long time. Who could have thought that a time will come and we will have army like the Biafran Liberation Army that is protecting our children, protecting our women, protecting our youth. This is why you see them coming up now and then to cry every now and then, because they know that the game has changed. They cannot just come to our land to kill our children, kill our women, burn our houses, burn our markets. Sometimes I begin to wonder that there is something that is very common with this Nigerian Army Police and the terrorists that are ravaging the north and Borno and so on and so forth. Kidnapping or killing of women and children. This thing is very common with them, because I read the news where kidnappers were saying Fulani terrorists released kidnapped women and children. So they have these things in common, killing of children and women. Why? Why is it like that? I don't really know. But I thank God that God has raised up a man like our Prime Minister that has stopped this killing in Biafra land. And whenever you see them, you hear them cry about insecurity in Biafra land. The people that are causing the insecurity are the government, are the police and the army. You understand? But in Biafra land, we have put an end to it. No insecurity in Biafra land. Government is Biafra land. So I am a proud Biafra. I'm an Isoko speaking Biafra. And speaking about this young man that is saying all of this thing about protest here, I just feel sorry for him. He is saying that if they can unite with the police and the army, which army and police you want to unite? So you don't know that this army and the criminal politicians, they are working in caucus. So this is the politicians that will do and the police to protect themselves, to defend themselves. They share the loot together. Are those the kind of people that you want to unite with? It's like this guy never did anything. I'm appealing to all my data people, Soko and Urobo. You understand? because they will just brutalize you.
Allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissent as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle, as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran war in the first place, understand why it still goes on, ask the people what they want, and as it is right now, if they asked the people 10 years ago, the needs will be different, because right now all they want is a referendum. All they want is a referendum, and if they get that referendum, they're going to get out of Nigeria. They're going to vote and ratify that they need to be separate from Nigeria. The thing that the federal government of Nigeria fears about this is because they'll lose most of their resources and they'll lose most of their manpower and that skilled labor. This is something they should have addressed, to prevent the anthills building a mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. You said if probably the federal government of Nigeria would have asked the people of Biafra what they want 10 years ago, things would have been different. Maybe the needs would have been different, but as it is today, the only call, and it remains so, is a referendum and nothing short of it. Let me hear from Linda Alela what you have to say about it. How can we heal the divide in Nigeria, more so with the Biafra crisis?
All right. Thank you so much, Tarish. Of course, the rest of the panel and the viewer.
All right. I believe we are back. Please, can you hear my voice? If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section.
I can hear you.
Yeah, go on. Can hear you.
All right. Rage and Fury, please, can you conclude, or did you manage to conclude before
I hope I can
before I took you off?
Okay. Am I being heard now?
Yeah, you have only 1 more minute, please. Only 1 minute. Use it judiciously. Please go ahead.
Okay. I was saying that this guy that is saying that they should unite with the soldier and police to fight politicians. I say, don't you know that the politicians and the soldiers, they are together? It's the politicians that do the stealing, and they use the army and the police to guide themselves. Instead of the army to defend the common citizens, they defend the politicians who have stolen the commonwealth, you understand? And they kill the citizens like flies, you understand? Are those the kind of people that want to go and unite with? So my people from Isoka Nurobo, my Biafran from Isoka Nurobo, are from Igodo, Ijoy Shekiri, Akwa Ibom and Igbo, please. We should not involve ourselves in any protest that is being organized by Nigeria, you understand? One and not forget what happened. All these Nigeria celebrities and Nigeria, they don't forget about what happened in Lekki and Sasso, you understand? They don't forget about the killing, those youth, innocent youth. When we say they deceive, go kill all this Aisha Yesufu. Aisha Yesufu is living her life today. You understand? Why they deceive all those innocent youth, go die away? So don't get yourself involved in that. You understand? You cannot do any protest in Africa, in Nigeria today. That's going to sit at your home, so like we are doing in Biafra today. You understand? That's the only protest that goes. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. God bless you for your contribution. God bless you. All right, Erasmus, can you hear me? Please grab the microphone.
Yeah, thank you very much. I listened to the Ogbonayada Eda, and I've been listening to a lot of people coming out and raising up their ugly head and everything. My only prayer is that somebody somewhere is telling Mazuna Kanu the true picture of the situation of a Biafra Republic government in Nigeria. Because that is very important, because I don't know what is going on. I hope somebody is telling him the truth. Because, Wazuruke failed because the soldiers, when I mean soldiers, the men that he put on ground that he believed that he could fall back to were brought to him, and they were the one asking him, Oga, Abemo, drop this matter. So if he wanted to insist to say he want to fight on, who is he going to call to fight on? That was why he failed. So my own prayer is that I hope that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows the true picture of where Biafra Republic government in exile has gotten to. You understand? Yeah. I hope he does not think that the US failed because the US failed him, that the whole Biafra has failed him. I only just hope. That is just on the time. Because if not, people like Ogbonaya, a politician that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been talking against, will not be the one coming to say, as if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for him, to tell us that they will not come and sit on the table and be negotiating and be talking rubbish. That is just on that side. Secondly, I beg to differ a little from you on the aspect of the protest of that guy who was talking. Now, there is a reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu supported when the youth decided to protest in EndSARS. There was a reason why he supported them. The reason is this. You see the strategy that the Prime Minister has now, that the Biafra Republic government in Ezra has, that we are going to use, which is guerrilla warfare, right? For us to fully start enjoying Biafra, it may take up to 10 years. I am telling you the truth. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Come again.
For us to start enjoying the real Biafra with this strategy that we are adopting, guerrilla tactics, because we are not doing conventional war, it may take up to 10 years. Now, if, for instance, I don't believe it's going to happen, but if there was going to be a protest in Nigeria again, it's not going to be a protest, it's going to be a revolution. Because anybody entering the streets of Nigeria to protest now knows that you're expecting the police or the military to shoot at them, and they will be ready to fight back. If anybody hits the streets, they'll be ready to fight back. And again, if you look at it, if there is a revolution in Nigeria today, do not expect that the country is going to be won again. It's going to be a breakup of Nigeria. If you look at that guy talking, that guy is not a Yoruba man. I hope you know that. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. Look at his hair. That guy is either a Hausa guy or a Fulani guy that grew up probably maybe in Lagos or probably in the western part of Nigeria. He's obviously not from the southern part of Nigeria. So if a revolution breaks out, even if the Yorubas do not join, some of the Yorubas, because I know some of them they hate Tubu. If some of them, majority of them do not join, the middle belt join, the what's it called, the northern region, the other this thing join, it will be a win-win for Biafra, because at the end of the day, they will take it. When they take it to an extent, we can join and end it, because when we end it, then Yoruba will say they want to secede because they remove their brother from power. It will be a breakup. So it will become easier for us to just get the Biafra than fighting for how long it's going to take to get Biafra. So for me, if there is a genuine revolution today, which I'm not very comfortable, I'm not very sure that it can happen. If it happens, it's going to be for our advantage, because it will help us to get Biafra faster.
Okay, fine. Let me come in there. That's why I like conversation. Now, my brother Erasmus, you talked about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu supporting EndSARS. Yeah, of course, we were all here. We saw everything, how it how it started and how it ended. Now, are you aware that after EndSARS, are you aware that there was another protest called immediately after EndSARS? It didn't take up to 1 or 2 months. Are you aware that there was another protest called again to continue from where they stopped during the EndSARS? And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood against it and told all Biafrans never to join that very protest. Are you aware of it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the reason why he did so?
Because of the fallout of what happened in the first protest.
Because of the fallout. What can you mention the real
because
reason?
Biafrans were blamed of the this thing. Even when the Yoruba, most of the people that invaded the Oba's palace were Yorubas. They were even speaking Yorubas, but eventually people turned it around and said they were Igbos. That was part
Yeah.
of this. So that was
So,
one of the
so
reasons. I know all of this.
not one of the. That was the only reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told every Biafran not to join that protest was because they allowed the politicians to use the tribal sentiment to destroy the protest. And this tribal sentiment was targeted against the Igbos, strictly against the Igbos, that the Igbo people have come to destroy Yoruba land. That was the sentiment, that was the statement, that was the comment. And then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not angry with the politicians who raised that sentiment, which is Tinubu, but he was angry that those who said they want revolution allow the politician, upon all the shouting was shouting on top of Radio Biafra, yet they didn't listen to him. They allowed the politicians to use that sentiment to destroy the protest.
Yes, Biafra United. I agree with you 100%. But I want to ask you a question as well.
Okay.
Will you agree with me if let me call it a protest for now? If a protest was to start today in the northern region, will you agree with me that Igbo businesses will be targeted, whether Igbos join or not?
Yes, of course.
If protests start today in the northern region, the places they will be going are anywhere, not even Igbo, let me not say Igbo, Eastern, because Edo, that's Edo, Delta,
yes, we are the same. They see us as the same people. Now it's only here that people say I'm a Igbo, I'm Igbo, I'm this and I'm Efik, I'm Europe. They see all of us as the same.
Yes. As I am speaking to you now, let me explain something to you. My own stepsister, and the husband, they were very, very rich in Kano. Protest, this kind of protest was what happened. They destroyed all their, let me not go there. They were rich. They destroyed them. The man became a driver. He retired now as a driver. Now, if protest was to start in the north, as we are talking now, most of those people, Amanjiri, that you see in the northern region in Kano, Kaduna, that they come to your store that as an Igbo man or as a Southern man, you give them biscuit, you give them money. They are high your property. If anything starts, your property is the next thing. So what I'm saying in essence is this: where if revolution was to start today in Nigeria, especially the north, whether Igbos join, whether South join or not, did not join, their properties will be destroyed completely. So what will not be the advantage? It's like you talk, you die. You not talk, you die. Because for me, forget about what happened or all this thing, because I'm looking at what is going to benefit us eventually. Because eventually it's going to make it easier for us if the revolution really catches fire at that point, then it will be easier for us to break away completely.
Now, let me tell you, my brother, if they destroy Igbo properties, they are going to fight back. Igbos fought back in 1993 during June 12. Igbos fought back in Lagos. Our people fought back in 1993. Our brothers and sisters' properties were destroyed in Lagos State. They fought back. Even in South Africa, our people fought back during the last this thing they did. Our people, I watched the videos. Our people fought back. So the thing which is there is this: if there is protest or revolution or whatever, and they target Biafran's properties in the north or any other place in the zoo, apart from Biafra land, they are going to gather themselves and fight back. And for them to fight back, that will also draw closer to our exit from the Zoological Republic. Now, but that does not mean that we are joining them to protest for one Nigeria. That one we can never do. We can't do it. We did it.
I understand you, Biafra United. The truth is that what I'm looking at If any protest was to happen in Nigeria again, it's not going to be protest, it's going to be revolution. And what I'm saying, which is it's my personal opinion, which is everybody has his opinion, is that
Sure.
a revolution is going to make it easier for us to exit Nigeria. If it was going to take 10 years for us to exit Nigeria, revolution will take it 1 year, we'll exit Nigeria. So that's what I'm saying. There cannot be a protest in Nigeria again. If there is anything protest, is going to lead to revolution. As in, when I mean revolution, I mean the politicians will not be able to fly. I am telling you, all the politicians, none of them will fly. It will be bloody. That is the only thing that can happen. If that happens, it's going to be a benefit. It's going to be a plus for Biafra to exist. But that is the truth. But I doubt if it's going to happen anyway. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Erasmus, for your contribution. That thank God you said that is your own opinion. I love that. Thank you so much. God bless you. Because if I continue to, if we continue to talk about this or argue about this, it's going to take a lot of time before we will get to the root of it. But maybe one of these days, I may have a full program concerning this very issue, so that everybody may join to to talk about it. Thank you, my brother. God bless you, Erasmus. Yeah. All right, Triple M, you have only 2 minutes, please. We are rounding up. Please give us your submission. So we go to Rasanya, and then we call it a day. Please go ahead, unmute yourself, Triple M.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Network has been throwing me off and down. No matter what they do, we must continue. They can never stop us.
I can see it.
Yeah, Ikuku himself, I greet you, Biafra Unite.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you for your good work. Also appreciate every Biafrans all over the world, the genuine Biafrans that is fighting this freedom with our PM with all their hearts. I really appreciate each and every one of us. Thank you, my good people. Asi nobogi Simon, gini kai game, nelo wanka, gini kai game. The fear of Simon is the beginning of wisdom. And there one song they sing, they said, God speak in Jerusalem. He went and they fulfilled in Capernaum. Simon speaks in Finland. He went straight to Biafra land and fulfilled. That is where we are. Simon, our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Simon, the good guy, we really appreciate him. It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, going by the topic this night, actually, my brother, this is not the era of protest. We have gone past that stage. If the Nigerian or the so-called Zoom wants to protest, they should go ahead. They should go ahead. Our Prime Minister promised them that he will give them a task they can never ever reject. If they accept it, it's for our own good. And if they reject it, it's also for our own good as well. So that's exactly what is playing out. The so-called Fulani guy shouting about the protest or whatever, that is the cup of their tea. We don't care about that. None of our business. We don't know anything about that. They should go on and do whatever thing they want to do. We are doing our own thing our own time. So whatever thing we are doing with our Prime Minister is God ordained, and it is written. They can never stop us. If they say that what we are doing is not right, they should charge us to ICC. Of course, they can't do that because they have, it pains me a lot when people say Nigeria is a democratic nation. Number one, Nigeria is not a nation. Two, there is nothing like democratic in Nigeria. So it baffles me when you see even our so-called educated illiterate, you see them saying that Nigeria is a democratic nation. We have to do our fight what we have to fight to make sure we keep it as one and respect laws and order. Sure. Which laws and order are they talking about? Is it the one that is born or the one yet unborn? Very sad. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. So whatever thing that is playing out today, we are very happy. It is no longer the Biafrans shouting. Gone are the days when they kill us, we protest with flag. Holy, 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 holy. They will come and open a life ammunition on us and butchered us. We keep crying to UN. We keep crying to EU. We keep crying to AU. No response. Now, we have taken the bull by the horn as they advised us. Now, who is crying? The table has turned 360 degrees. They are not the people crying, shouting. Biafra United, I don't know if you came across our PM post today, regards to the gullibles they used to call him, that if he will accept on what they are saying, they will make him more richer than Dangote, or he will be the Dangote of the Igbo land.
But that is the truth now. That is
yes,
the truth now. Do you know how many times they have offered him, they have tried to lure him? That is the truth now.
Now, I keep telling my people, I said, okay, why can't we sit back and reason? Even our so-called stupid governors and the criminal elites, as they call themselves, that thing that when you mentioned it, they would want to, lobby you, pay you something to forget about it. Don't you think that thing is for your own good and your generation? Coming to that so-called zoo as we speak, I don't know before United, I don't know if there is any coven or occultic power they use in engaging that particular contraction, because when you left out of that place, your eyes will open. Now look at what is happening in that contraction now. Anything about Biafra restoration pains everybody, even your so-called people, your people that you want to liberate, it pains them as well. But when a news of Fulani herdsmen dislodging people from their houses, push them out and retreat the place with other people, they will not carry the news. They will not discuss anything about it. They will all just keep mute. But once it comes to Biafra something, you see everybody eyebrow from A to Z. I don't really know exactly what is wrong with our people. Someone will be in the fire. You'll be calling that person, please come out of this fire. It is not good for you. The person see you as an enemy. Person see you. Now, they look at the so-called politicians, those in those in the West. After their political Sharia and the rest of them, after their reign, both in governor, senator, you see them, they travel to abroad to go and believe in their life. They are the people that promise you a better Nigeria. Those in the north, after they are stealing and the rest of them, they travel to Dubai and Qatar to go and flex their life. That is where they enjoy their lives. Then those in the south, I don't call it southeast because we are south. We are not even in anywhere near east. We are south. Those in the south, as they so call it, east, south, and the southeast. Those in those places, after their reign as a political criminals, you see them travel to abroad, travel to UK, America, go and flex their life. And their family is not even there. As we speak now, I'm in UK speaking to you, brother. The prime minister of this country that just stepped down now for the new prime minister, he ride bicycle, brother. His family is here in this UK. How can you be leading people? Your family is in another man's country, enjoying, and you are here killing people, saying that you are trying to build it well. Who are you trying to govern? Wait, if you want to rule people, you will start from your family. But check from A to Z of all of the criminal politicians in Nigeria. None of their family are in that country. Who are they ruling? That's why you before you graduate from school of 5 years, you will spend 10 years. They don't care. It's none of their business because their children are not there. That contraction as it stands is just like bicycle, Igberent. igwe rent bụ gị rent ahịa ị ga-agba ya ka ị gbazuo ego ị rentere. That is what that country is. Anybody that comes on board would like to cover excess onye butcher ya mevum, and that person will come. And yet you still see gullibles supporting. Thank God for our PM. Our PM, you will live long. You will live long. Our PM, you will live long. Nothing will happen to you. We are going. We already have a date. That is why everywhere is shaking. Everywhere is shaking because of this date. You know, our PM works in spirit. He said he will.
Remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, you know, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, you know, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African...
All right. Ras, Anya, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you speak? I cannot hear you, my brother. Ras, Anya, it seems like the problem is from your side. Okay, let me try. King Onwuka, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself and speak? So let me confirm where the problem is coming from. King Onwuka, can you hear me? King Onwuka, can you hear me?
Much I can hear you.
Okay, so Rasanya, you need to go out and come back immediately, please. We are rounding up. It's from your side. All right, King Onwuka, just go ahead. You have 2 minutes, please.
Much I can hear you. Even the 2 minutes is too much. I suppose you don't remember me, right? There was a day I talked to you before the crisis of Nelly and the Sema, the guy who told you about Gideon Akaloka. Do you remember?
I think I can remember. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so it's nice that we are on the right direction. I'm so excited tonight to speak to you, especially when I read the comment coming out from our PM. I suppose you have not seen that latest update. Our PM gave order to those criminal politicians and those traditional rulers who are using our leader Mazen Nandikala to make their names be heard, talking about releasing. Our PM says, starting from today, anybody that says a single word again will disappear. So when I read that news, I was so happy. I said, yes. You know, whenever our PM always says something like that, it always brings tears to my eyes. I said, yes, because I want those people who are sabotaging our movement, our struggle, our freedom, I want all of them to disappear from our space. So immediately I read that information, I was so excited. And then coming online to see what you're doing, just want to greet you, to tell you to continue the good work. You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
There is always a reward for every good job. So keep up the good job. May Elohim strengthen you. At the end of the day, 2nd December is very, very near. And after then, our enemies will receive the hot side of us. And they will know that through I'm not going to do that. You know, how I will always believe now, it's also from America until I believe after December 2nd, this people I will get and that's what I have to say. Thank you so much, brother. Right on.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, King Onwuka, for coming. God bless you. All right, Rastafari.
Yes,
Rasanya, please grab the microphone. Go ahead and let us do it, and then call it a day. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. I just fixed a different device. I don't know if it was from my computer. Yeah, my brother. Well done. Well done. a whole lot of things to deal with. First of all, I have to deal with the unity beggars. Ohanaeze them. And I want to, because you don't have a lot of time, I just want to be I want to use my God heart for them, because they are so shaken, because they know, say, the zoo is gone, but they cannot come openly and say it obviously. Because as you rightfully said, they're pretending that our prime minister is not there. They are pretending. But they cannot wish him away. And they know that it's not easy. They know that we are gone. So, but what I want to tell them is that Biafra is for betterment of the whole Africa, as you said, and even beyond. If I break down details, it will even benefit the white people, because majority of the people are actually zombies. They don't know what is happening, because the percentage of those who are dealing with the colonial power, they are not plenty, and they've been working for ages. You know what I mean? So what I'm telling the contraption, the zoo, is just that it's going to benefit them all. And as for these so-called politicians, the so-called leaders who that we know that they are not leading us, they are just slaves of the terrorists, who are just they are under siege, they are under hostage. That's the right word, hostage. They cannot say what they know. You see, now everybody starts saying that the marginalization and all those things, and the whole truth that Nnamdi Kanu stands for, which is what we all stand for. They know it, but they cannot say it. Now, none of them can mention that in as much as the Zoo, the Fulani, and the Fulani, who is the indirect rule of Britain through the Fulani. So directly with them is Fulani we have. But Fulani, for them, the most important thing for them is that dream of their great-grandfather Uthman Danfodio. And they say from time to time, and even Atiku, when he was campaigning, had to go to the tomb of the man. And they know it very well, but they are even so scared of saying it, because Islam reigns with fear. Islam flourishes with fear. And without lies, Islam cannot succeed. So now that these people are even working with those who want to go carry suicide bomber, showing that they are literally now participating in jihadism, So anybody who is talking everything they are talking, they don't mention this thing that is so dear to their heart. Something that if somebody plays with cartoon of Muhammad in Norway, they will start killing our people in the zoo, and nobody talks. So they can, if they are not talking about this jihad aspect, they have not started. So now I'm just telling them, because we are going to show them that they are also victims of the Quran, victim of Islam, who tells you that because our flag is actually the first ever and the only actually Pan-African flag from Marcus Garvey. So this means now Marcus Garvey told us all to study race first. So what we are defending is for the black race, and those people who are thinking that they are good Islams and they're better than Saudi Arabia. The Islam tell them that God created black people from the left side of Adam, and they're going to hell. So as a Pan-Africanist, as a Garveyite, I cannot fall under that particular nonsense. I just mentioned one thing, but a lot of things. That is a very racial sect, so to say, and cult, actually. So this is one thing that these people don't know, but I'm trying to let them know that at the end of the day, they will be very, very grateful for Biafra. And for these political unity beggars, what they don't know is that the president sitting there talking about, these people are buying time to fulfill their 1804 agenda that they started long time. So, and how patient and how diligent they are dealing with it, they don't care. People who've been fighting for something since 1804 and still telling you tomorrow that they want to dip the Quran in the Atlantic, and they never open their mouth, say it, because they are slaves of them. And this is what the Quran directed them. He said that anyone, just like Ahmad Bello said you have to make them work on contract. So they will do all the biddings of these people. They don't talk about it. And now talking about the people who are talking about protest, whatever they do, you and Erasmus are saying the same thing actually at the end of the day. Whatever they do, but we know, say, if they will come to the level of the real revolution, I tell you, all of them will be pushing for Biafra because they know that if Biafra comes, all this what I'm saying will just happen for them all, and they will not go. Yeah. So because and Biafrans already can tell you, my brother, you know, they even worry for this. This is what you are saying, but you are warning them ahead of time. But you know, say, was it at the end of the year that people were trying to protest and Biafrans didn't join them? You notice our prime minister told them, say, make them no join. Biafrans know, even those who don't even follow in the agitation, they just leave them. Instead, when they do that, they go to eat their own salad. So anything where they do, if the zoo people get their sense intact and realize, say, all these people want to they want to annihilate them and take their indigenous lands, they will wake up very well and they will do the right thing. Whatever they do, it will favor us. Whether they sleep, it will favor us. Because now Biafra, they set the pace. And our prime minister is an athlete. Our prime minister, you know, they accelerate. You know, they think about stopping. And you know, say, I tell them one day, if you be athlete, I'm not be athlete, but I don't listen to people who be say them be athletes. If they see the finishing line, if they see the if they see the target, the end line, they're not going to even conceive in what I not say they think to conceive the idea of breaking. All what they think is accelerating until when they pass the stop line. Now that place, then go even start conceiving the idea of whether to start breaking or not. You know, so they don't stop. So all this thing what they talk now they are Biafra would on a different level. And then as you they talk, say whether Biafrans, other people don't know whether we are created different. All the situation, my brother, built us up for the whole thing. Where you know today, your history, everything was around you, build you and cooked you for this moment, prepared you for this moment. Your resilience and everything you have is the situation of your surroundings. Because I say that, how did I say it? Beyond didn't do queen, ihe na-eme bụ ihe mmụọ, onye anyị na-achụrụ aja bụ oke mmụọ. Then I tell them, say, all whoever really wanna know, surely gonna know, yes. Set apart territory, sacred territory. Ola territory, Kodesh Kedus I, Eben Sochi Uchi. Chineke may put you in this particular place where you did, and this is your good job where they do. Because I say, as I was listening to you now, I say that you are listening to Odinanwa. How did I do it? How did I do it? Because sometimes the thing they come, we must need each other, but it's say when it happen. But make I do them. Now make it listen. I say, you are listening to Odinanwa. Matakwana ihe niile dị na nwa. You are listening to Odinanwa. Remember everything Odinanwa. Biafra unite, working day and night. Shining in Biafra light that Biafra must unite. Top notch analysis, yes. Analysis, we hear truthful policies, yes. Policies, true Biafra quality, exposing Gotham media and politics, yeah. Stands with Martin Nnamdi Kanu, spirit of a warrior. Stands with and Simon Epa, spirit of warrior. Bridgie, oh yeah, warrior. Bridgie Media, warrior. BLA, warrior. BRF, warrior. We are listening to Odinanwa. Matakwani niile dị na nwa. We are listening to Odinanwa. Matakwani niile dị na nwa. Biafra unite. Working day and night. Shining Biafra light that Biafra must unite. That's how we start, my brother, because
oh my God. Oh my God, go. I will cut it.
My brother, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra For them is a scary name, Biafra. I love this very name, Biafra, 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 Biafra. Most I Dada bless Biafra. Chukwokika Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Yeah, remember them again. Started in 1804 by Uthman Danfodio. Rename go Biafra, so go to Dynamic Boo. Sa Amadou Bello, see how they massacre the house, my brother. Make I not keep you off. We will continue next time. Keep it running and rolling. Fire burning non-stop. That's the power I love. Yeah?
Thank you, thank you. Wow, 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 wow. What a conversation. What a time. What a time with my beloved people of Biafra and rounding it up with Ras. Wow. rounding it up with Ras, with that beautiful piece of song. I'm going to cut it out and use it as part of my jingles moving forward. All right, somebody is requesting for my WhatsApp number. You can see it on your screen, but I will no longer receive call. We are done for today. The WhatsApp number is on your screen for any Biafra related information, not for personal discussion. I don't have time to have any personal discussion with anybody. This very WhatsApp number is strictly for Biafra related information. That's all. Biafra related matters. Please, you can see the number on your screen. Thank you so much for listening, my wonderful people of Biafra all over the world. May God in his infinity mercy bless every one of you listening to me right now from where you are. May God bless Mazinam Dekanu, bless Mazi Simon Ekpa, bless all members of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Bless and protect our men on ground, the Biafra Defense Forces, wherever they are. And of course, those of you who are supporting this very quest for Biafra restoration, I pray that whatsoever you lay hand upon, that thou shalt prosper. You will never lack. You will never lack. As long as you keep supporting this very liberation movement, everything you touch will be turned into gold. And those of you who wish to support, but you don't have the funds, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the resources to support, I pray that God opens your way for you to be able to support financially. Let me make this very, very clear before we round up, that we already have men on ground. We already have men who are ready to do everything humanly possible to eradicate the terrorists of the zoo. What we need is to keep on supplying them with every single thing that they need. Everything, Igwe. We need to supply them with Igwe 247. Na fakwesi dị na-enweta igwe anyị na-eji na-akụ mgbọ na-agba mbọ na-akụsizu igwe ike. Ekwesịghị na-akụzu igwe na-akụsizu igwe ike, whichever way they come from. We're supposed to have air system. We're supposed to have air defense system. We're supposed to have every single thing. If we want to declare Biafra on 2nd of December and restore Biafra that same December, because declaration is different and restoration, not restoration, freedom, actual freedom is different. We are going to declare Biafra. In our mind, we are free, but we now need to be free based on, borders and boundaries between Biafra and Nigeria. So for that to happen as quick as possible within that same December period, we need to match the zoo bomber to bomber. We need to have all the defense system. We need both air system and otherwise. In any way, we need to have all the machines that we need. That means we are going to be, that means the international community will be recognizing us that same December by the time after the declaration on the 2nd. So what we need is marching. And how do we get this marching? Through our support. through our support, financial support. I love what the Netherlands did the other day by challenging the United States of America, and I'm still calling other countries to join into that very challenge, because through that kind of challenge, we can be able to raise reasonable amount of money to defend our land. I'm calling every other countries to join the queue to continue with this challenge in order for us to be buoyant enough to defend our land. Thank you so much, all Biafrans listening to me. May God bless you all. I pray in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama bi n'eluigwe. Ise.